I don't see any friends from North America joining yet, but I suppose we can start because it's gone time. Alberto, do you have anything to bring up? Or Han? Or Sundra?
Hi, John. Sorry, Kapajan. Hello. I was reading about the Charya, the Vijnana Charya and the Ajnana Charya and the Jnana Charya. I thought that it's not easy to follow the different chittas in life, like from Vipaka to Akusala mostly, and the understanding of the chitta, it's not it's not like every day. It's not it's not very common at all. It's very rare, and Jnana Charya is it's while the no understanding is so common, like now, and even the kusala is so rare, and it is because of the understanding. That's what I was thinking. That without understanding, there is mostly akusala and vipaka, and is followed by akusala. And without understanding, not much opportunity to change this how things are for most of us. Is that so? That the understanding is so very precious, and so very uncommon in daily life.
Just before Ajahn replies, Alberto, could you mention the three kinds of charya again so that some may not have caught the names?
Yeah, I think it starts with Vijnana Charya, the first.
Yes.
Vijnana Charya. Vijnana is the Vipaka. And then it's Ajnana Charya, which is the Charya is the behavior of chitta. It's like maybe like not the behavior, because that's sila, that's different. It's the nature of chitta which arises. And
so Ajnana refers to?
Ajnana refers to the akusala, akusala chittas. So we have vipaka and akusala. And then jnana charya, the last one, is refers to the chitta with panya.
Right. So what's your question is what exactly? Yeah. Daily life application relevance? Or?
Yeah. My question, would be if Ajahn can talk more about Vijnana Charya with Jnana Charya, the understanding of Vijnana Charya.
Just before, if I may, to Alberto, when you say charya just means the way to go or the way of traveling, but I'm interested in how you distinguish vijnana as we understand consciousness, and vijnana you seem to be describing as vipaka. How is that word spelled exactly the same or said exactly the same? I'm curious about that.
You mean
vijnana charya? How do you, is that the same as like vijnana as we talk about consciousness?
Yeah, like vijnana kanda. But in this case, it's only let's say talking about the vipaka, because it's a different the moment of seeing is different from the moment of akusala.
Okay. I'm a bit obscure, but I'm hearing where you're coming from. Although, all right. Thank you for that.
Ajahn, would you like to say something about these three kinds of charya, please?
Okay. What is number one?
Vijnana Charya.
Jnana or Vijnana?
1, 7, 4, 2, 8, 2, thanks.
What first?
I think first is Vijnana.
Okay. We shouldn't forget that we just begin to learn about the truth of what is there, which is so very subtle, because not just the word, which is very subtle, but the truth is much more subtle. For example, Vijnana. Now, everyone haven't heard about Vijnana, but there is seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting from moment of birth on and on and on. That's why there is a reality which without it nothing can appear at all. Begin to understand how subtle it is. Otherwise it seems like what the words say is understood, because there is a reality which experience an object. But what is that? See, even now, it arises and falls away from moment to moment non-stop. But what is it now? See, we have to think and consider again and again and again, from the beginning and on again, and then from the beginning again and on again. For example, everyone is accustomed to the word vijnana, but what is it? When is it? What is now? It's not known, because there's no shape, no form, nothing at all. imagine nothing at all, but there is a reality which experiences nothing at all. At moment when it's not the object which is seen or heard, for example. That's why even it's there from birth and arises and falls away, it does not appear as what is it is the experiencing of what is there. For example, at birth moment is gone, and what is there? The reality which does not appear because it's not through any one doorway at all. So how can it appear? But it's there, keep on, from moment to moment, by condition to arise and experience and then gone. Even the object does not appear at all. It's there, imagine. So now, it's there. When there's no seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking, but it's not known until there is what appears now, moment of seeing, just moment of seeing, nothing at all. It is the reality which experience whatever is taken off, that which is known as people and things and everything, is not there at all. And that is moment when it experiences that which is seen. So imagine now, as soon as one opens one's eye, light is there, and when the moment of not thinking about anything at all, there is a reality which is there, no shape, no form. Just experience what is seen, light, right? Or whatever is seen, no word at all, no need to say that it's light or it's different colors and so on. But it's there all the time, from moment to moment. Even it's there, it's not known. This is how subtle to begin to consider again what is the reality which experiences the object. For example, close one's eyes when it's not dark. It is seen by that which experiences it, not as anything, but there is that which is seen. So whenever there is what is seen, it's that which arises and experiences the object, only that which is seen. No thought about shape and form or anything. That is another moment of that reality which is different from nothing is there, only light or what is seen, and it followed by conditions to the moment of experiences what is there as people and things. See, it is there, just arise and falls away all the time. That's why we are just the beginning to learn about the truth, which is so very subtle, again and again and again, after hearing about ayatana and so on. But the moment when what is there is known, as we have heard, is there, not known yet, because it's just the first round of the truth, if we use the word, the teachings of the Buddha. Just talk about that which is there, unknown before, no thought about it before, to begin to understand what is there in a moment. The ultimate truth is that no one there at all. See, before there can be the letting go of the idea of self from feeling, memory, and so on, there must be the understanding of the reality which arises and experience what is there. So many different realities. That which is that the chief, see, it's there. What does it mean? There must be other reality which experiences that object together. But when the object appears by that which is the chief of experiencing it, so we learn to understand what is there in life a little more, until it is the very keen intellectual understanding, firmer and firmer and firmer, before there can be the condition to directly understand with the awareness directly of what object is there right now, naturally. See, so come back again to what we heard about, but it's only intellectual understanding. And if not is well versed, it cannot be intellectual keen understanding yet. It's that condition, the moment of begin to attend to what we used to talk about, citta, different kinds and so on, and cetasikas, different kinds and so on. Because even right now they are there, unknown. Because it takes quite a long, long time to let go of ignorance, even at moment of hearing, considering that the truth is beyond any expectation at all. Unknown until it's there, open up, revealed itself to be known as what is that? See, a moment of nothing at all while one is asleep, and then the moment of open one's eyes, what is seen? See, just one moment of experiencing that which is there right now. Just one moment, it cannot be taken for anything at all. But what is there? The reality, which is conditioned to arise, unknown that what condition is arising, but it's there already before that moment of experiencing anything. It's still there, see? And so when there's something, since it's there, it arises and experiences what is there seen or heard. And this is the very, very rapidity of the succession of what is there in life. That's why ignorance covered up the truth each moment, on and on and on. That's why how subtle it is, just begin to have confidence of the truth. Satya Barami, Adidana Barami, that is so very subtle. The only way to let go ignorance is any moment that by condition, thinking about it, consider about it, or it's the moment of directly aware with understanding of what is there now, as we have heard, little by little, because it's just the beginning of the second stage, the patipati, not just the pariyati, until it appears as it is. No doubt by then, just when it's there appearing, patibeda, see, but there is still doubt about higher understanding or letting go of what is there that we have learned. So just begin again, consider again what has been heard for a long time, whether it's conditioned to be a moment of considering a little more carefully of that which is now appearing, little by little, again and again and again. That's why being truthful, Satya Barami, the reality, which is so very firm, confident of the truth. That is the only way to let go ignorance, because understanding is there only a moment at a time. Is this vijnana? It's there now. We don't have to look for it somewhere. It's there already, but it's not known from life to life, moment to moment, until now. Hear it again, consider it again. What we heard just about, what is there, experience is the object, the chief of experiencing, and the other reality also experienced by its characteristic and its function, like it, irritated, or whatever is there, all by conditioned in life. So ignorance, see, we can talk about it by way of paticcasamuppatta or Ariya Satya and Nivarana and so on. When it appears, otherwise it's just considering and thinking. getting to understand it closer, to know how much ignorance is there, but that it takes stage by stage, step by step, to develop or to carefully consider it again and again.
So,
Is that the answer for Vijnana?
Yes, Ajahn. It's through the must be the sense door appearing like another word I remember you mentioned once. It's the upati, moment, which just like a flash, which appears and disappear instantly.
So without careful considering, nothing can condition a little more understanding of the truth of what we just talk about, one reality at a time.
Yeah, it must be chitta. Must be the understanding of chitta, as in Chittanupasana, Satipatthana. Must be the characteristic of the reality which experience on its own, without any other function, without any other.
And we begin to learn a little more about the other realities which arise and experience the object different from the chief of experiencing, citta, see. Otherwise, it's just the word talking about sati and panya and so on. But the truth is that it has to be considered only one reality at a time to understand the truth of it. What is there arises and experience the object, but not the chief as citta. What are they? When we talk about sati and panya, see, it's not just the word, but to know that it has its specific characteristic, not tangled with other reality at all, to disentangle the entanglement of this moment. Is understanding a little more of one reality at a time. So this is only intellect understanding, or whether it is fully pariyatti or not, see, not enough at all. Just begin to understand how deep, how the truth is covered up without any understanding of the truth in the moment of different realities arising together and some far away, not together, but arise and far away too. That's why I have confidence, understanding the truth of just one reality, for example, vijnana, citta only. A little more letting go, a little more confident of pariyatti. The truth is the truth, so true, no one at all. Without that which arises and experiences the object, nothing appears. And more subtle, even nothing appears through the five sense door or mind door. There must be that reality which nobody can stop the conditions for its arising and falling away, experiences an unknown object. So this is life. it can be the object of understanding when hearing about the truth of it little by little. And this is the path of the Eightfold Path, to begin to have the understanding, even intellectual understanding. But without it, how can there be any understanding of the truth of what is there now? And the understanding is not the vijnana. See, learn a little more about what is there in life. Not just the word, but consider each word about each different reality. Otherwise, they are there talking about all the time.
As Ajahn says, Alberto, this is life and this is the path at the same time, because the second factor, ajnana, which literally means ignorance, moha, is indicates any akusala citta. So what this sequence is indicating is that vipaka citta, vijnana, is normally followed by akusala of one kind or another in the mind processes that think about the sense or object that's been experienced. But despite the akusala, there can still be the third fact, jnana, which is, of course, panya. And this is the normal sequence, if you like, because, as we've said before, the akusala citta is the norm, is attachment to any object through the sense doors, and that will be the case until it's been fully eradicated. So it's interesting that moha is, or akusala is given as the second in the sequence, but the sequence also includes the vipassana jnana moment, the mundane path moment, and that's the significance of these three terms that need to be read as a sequence or considered as a sequence.
Yes, that's what I thought, that the understanding it's precious, and it's the only way to change the way things are, like vijnana and vipaka, and then followed by all sort of akusala.
I wouldn't think of it as changing anything particularly, because, as we've said before, nothing can be changed. Everything arises by conditions. So the first and second of these three kinds of charya will continue to be the norm. But the panya, of course, has its own factors that condition its arising. So the arising of panya is not to change anything that's gone before it, or even to change the accumulation for akusala necessarily. It's just to see clearly the true nature of reality, which is the path.
Let's say that we change the way from the wrong way to be right.
Yes, that's possible too. So instead of wrong view following the akusala, which is itself akusala, of course, but if yeah, go on.
And that's a change, isn't it? It's quite a change. It's quite a big
It would
change.
be quite a change, yes. But it happens by conditions.
And little by little. so little and so so little, which is not even cannot be appreciated as in the simile which we know about knife handle.
So any further questions on or comments on these three kinds of charya? I think it's from the Patisambhadamagga.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe I was listening to Ajahn and talking about the ahara, the nutriments, and I was kind of thinking in the vijnana and ajnana sequence, it's maybe the conditions for kusala is vijnana. The condition for ajnana is vijnana as nutriment condition, but I'm not sure. Just guessing how what condition akusala, what condition the not understanding.
You mean what is the condition that links vipaka citta with the akusala that arises following it?
Yeah, or just more in general, the condition for akusala to be so yeah, just being even to the degree not to even mention kusala without understanding, which is not included in this classification. I think it's like highlighting the way that daily life as well, like
yes, it's highlighting the prevalence of akusala, isn't it? In response to sense door experiences,
and
which is conditioned in large part by the accumulated tendency, all the different kinds of akusala.
Yeah, that's the Pakatupanisaya Pachaya, but like Ahara Pachaya and other Pachaya, so many conditions for akusala. I don't think like Pakatupanisaya is the main accumulation is the main condition without which there wouldn't be any akusala. But also supporting conditions like nutriment conditions. Yeah, would be great if Ajahn can talk more about conditions and explaining, if Ajahn can explain more about the support condition for akusala, or also other conditions. without or without condition. There is no arising of anything. So and many conditions.
Have you finished your question? I'll invite Ajahn to say a
Yes,
few words about how conditions, what role conditions have in these three factors, the three kinds of charya. Thank you, Ajahn.
Is there enough understanding about the three yana, vinyana, ayana, and yana? See, is it now get closer, condition to consider a little more? Not just now, but later, see. If the understanding is not firm enough, it cannot condition moment of consider it again and again and again. So no doubt about the first vijnana, right? Because it's there unknown even right now at any moment. But hearing again and again and understand how subtle it is can condition moment of consider it again at any time, even right now. Otherwise, it cannot be object of understanding because it's so subtle. All dhammas are so subtle. What we have talked about after vijnana, they are all subtle. That's why they can be a little more considering about each one little by little to let go the idea of self. Otherwise, the self is there. Even now, see? That's right. What about the second yana, ayana, or yana? See? It's different. Even the word vinyana, not ayana, see? That's why what is the nature of vijnana we have learned. It's only a reality which cannot be everything else, but it's there. Just experiences the object. So what is the second one? Not the first one. They're different. And what is it? Is it there right now? Or if it's not vijnana, what is it? See? Otherwise, we just talk about other things, forget about the truth of it that is there right now or not. For example, vijnana is always there, unknown. Even there are other realities arising, falling away together, or just whatever is there appearing. But it's not vijnana. Vijnana is only vijnana, no one at all. Nothing at all. That's why this is the way to have confidence enough to condition moment of a little more understanding of what we have heard that is there all the time, even right now. So I think that what about the second yana, ayana, what is it? It's not that which is there all the time, like seeing, hearing, thinking, and so on. So what is it? Not I for sure, not anything, but it's so true, it's there. So what is it? In order to understand what we have talked about, even it's not these two. So what is it?
The akusala, the moha and lobha and dosa. The root, the the moments of akusala chitta.
That's all the words about it. It's not this and that. But what is it? Not the word. It's not this or it's not that. But what is it?
It's now.
See, is it real?
Yes.
Is it there?
Yes.
How do you know? When there's no understanding of the truth of it, not the word of it, but begin to hear the word yana. See? No yana, understanding. No understanding of what? See? Of the truth of what is there now or any moment. So there is another reality which arises and experiences the object with no understanding at all of what is there as it is. It's not the vijnana, the reality which just arises and experiences the object, different from that which arises, experience the object without understanding at all. At all. So is it there now? To be known that it's no one, not anyone at all. It's just a reality. No one can change it from no understanding of that which is there to be understanding. That's why there are different words, jhana, ajnana, and then jhana. From moment of no understanding, there can be the moment of another reality which begin to understand what is there very gradually, little by little. The truth is that it's there at moment of no understanding of the truth of what is there, and take it for something or someone, another reality. See, that's why we learn about all realities in life, from one reality to another reality. And that is moment of understanding, different from moment of ajnana to be moment of jnana. See, when we understand this, no doubt about different realities arising, falling away, by different conditions to be different reality. So when one comes across the word, no matter it's there in Vinaya or Suttanta or Abhidhamma, the understanding of the truth can understand what is more talking about, what is there as avijja or ajnana, and vijja or jnana or vijnana, that which just arise and experience the object. It's not the attachment, it's not the like or dislike, it just arises and experience the object, no matter what arises together with it. But it is that which arises and experiences the object. Is this ajnana or jnana? Different realities again. All are realities in life. Much more to learn about each one, to let go. What is taken for self is just that which is conditioned to arise and falls away. Is that enough about the vinyana, about the jhana? 3 different words. Firm enough, no doubt, about these 2 or 3 or 1 reality. Firmer and firmer and firmer. No one, because it's that which is vinyana, that which now sees and hears, the chief of experiencing. And the other one, avijja or ignorance, ajnana. And we learn more about whenever it arises together, what, and so on, stage by stage. But there must be the firm foundation, understand the ultimate truth as they are, no one and nothing at all. Now 3 words, 3 characteristics, right?
Yes, teacher.
Is it a little clearer and rooted to understand more what words about it, each one, little by little, on and on and on, and understand the difference between the 3, no matter when. No matter we talk about what stages of understanding, or by way of paticcasamuppada, or ayatana, or dhatu, understanding what is there in life right now, that which is there experiences the object. Can it understand or can it not understand that which arises and experiences the object?
No.
Different ones, now 3 that we have talked about, one by one.
Never enough hearing, never enough understanding. It's so very little at a time.
Consider each reality when it's talked about a little more, by conditions too, more careful and more careful, deeper and deeper, little by little, to realize that which is there can be known, but by what? Not by vijnana, not by ayana, and what condition, jnana, to experience the object. Without conditions, can there be jnana arise?
No, no.
And what are conditions for jnana to arise? There must be other realities too, unknown, if no word from the Buddha, the enlightened one, at all. But from his realization, he thought about everything to be carefully considered to realize the truth stage by stage. There must be very well firm confidence or understanding of what is there to condition moment of beginning to consider a little more Cintamaya Panya from Suttamaya Panya to be direct understanding by conditions. So what is the support for understanding to arise? See, because even right understanding cannot arise by itself, just alone or out of the blue, but there must be condition for each level of understanding. The level of just talk about it to be known that it's such and such, and the level of begin to understand a little more careful about it's there right now and what is heard about it. Does it condition the moment of careful considering about the truth or just follow the word? This is Suttamaya Panya, little by little, to be Cintamaya Panya. but different stages of Chintamaya Panya as well, as the Chintamaya Panya of the Buddha and the others, see? That's why just learn to understand the truth, the reality, the nature of each reality. Otherwise, it's just a story of whatever. But the reality which is there underlying is not known at all. And this is pariyatti, the way to have understanding deeper and deeper gradually, to know that what we are talking about is just right now, no thought about it. The vijnana is here, ayana is here, and jhana is here as well. Different moment, no wonder at all. That's why never forget, Buddha said, all dhammas are anatta. The point is to understand the ultimate truth. No one. So we can talk about anything because they are real and each is not known well enough.
And just coming back to Ajahn's earlier comment, Alberto, that in these three factors, we see both daily life and the path, because the first two factors are very much daily life. When there is the seeing of pleasant object, there is attachment, ignorance, and so forth. And then the last two factors show the path, and that is that even though akusala arises, yet there can be understanding of those moments of kusala. This is contrary, of course, to what many people think, because they believe that if only there were more kusala in a day, there would be more understanding of realities. But I think these three factors put together like this indicates that the kusala that arises naturally and continuously in a day is not an obstacle to the development of understanding of the realities.
Yeah, good point. The kusala,
because we might have expected to see kusala. Yeah. Go on.
Kusala alone is not enough. Need a moment like this. Need this situation, this opportunity for panya, for the third one.
When you say kusala alone is not enough, it's also, we could even say that regardless of how much kusala there is, if the understanding has been accumulated and the other factors are present, namely the opportunity to hear and consider the true Dhamma, then panya can arise regardless.
So the more kusala, the less. That's by accumulation. Accumulations. We have so much akusala, which is anyway it's there whether we like it or not. It's going to be akusala.
Mm-hmm.
So
of course, if kusala has been developed already, that's a support. But for many, there's the idea that if there could be more kusala, even better. And that's the way of thinking that is not
with
really
akusala.
in accordance with what the Buddha teaches, I think.
Yeah, because it's akusala thinking anyway, so it's part of the problem. It's part of the big picture of akusala. The trick of Noba. Not an answer, not the answer to the problem, not the way to move away from akusala. Like getting stuck in deeper and deeper without even realizing.
Yes, another way of putting that is that the akusala that does arise in a day is not the problem that we might think it is.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what you mean by problem, but let's say it can be problematic, can cause problems anyway.
I'm thinking in terms of the development of the path.
Right. But is there I don't know, it's like intellectual understanding of the right way and the wrong way, and the right cannot be wrong, the wrong cannot be right. It's there. It's so. I think some people would like, as you said, would like to have more kusala for being a better person. That's definitely the problem. I think that's a real problem.
What about thinking that having more kusala would be a better support for the arising of awareness and understanding?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind any more kusala. Or I think that would be a support. Yeah. I must confess, but that's not just wishful thinking.
Right, same kind of wishful thinking as the first one you mentioned. Okay, let's see if anyone else has a question or comment they would like to raise. I see Tom is there, Tom and Bev, perhaps. Sundara, Amba, Han. Anyone welcome?
Interesting discussion. Thanks, Alberto. And Jonathan, for your feedback too there, and Tanajan. I suppose it's always what we're going to be reminded about is the Dhamma that appears at this present moment. And as Alberto was saying, well, it would be nice to have, or good to have more kusala, but that is, as Alberto said, it's just wishful thinking, and that's not going to help develop the past. And as you said, Jonathan, there, that the past is not about wanting to have certain mental factors or mental states, that's a hindrance and it's not going to be helpful. So I appreciate you bringing them up, Alberto. Vijnana Charya, the moment of Vipaka, literally, and then of course the mostly akusala, based on our attachment and our ignorant, underpinned by ignorance, of course, and then the opportunity, or if you like, or the conditions that can be developed for panya to arise, which is it's what we listen to the Dhamma to help us support that kind of development, to know by way of pariyatti what is the fruitful way to go or not. And it's so easy to become seduced into a way that we think is the path. And I think a point that Tanajan made a moment ago was not just following the words. Dhamma is a lot more sophisticated and subtle than that. We have to consider always very, very carefully what is being heard. I'm trying to actually get to a point where I have a question here, and I guess what Tanajan is always reminding us about is that whatever reality appears, it can be understood, not wanting or wishing or determining what that reality should or shouldn't be.
That's why we have to reconsider again what is heard about the three vijnana. For example, is the other vijnana is not vijnana, only just vipaka is vijnana. The truth is the truth. It conforms with what is there in Tipitaka. But it depends on understanding of each context, what it refers to, for example. So there can be the understanding from hearing about what is vijnana, the reality which arises and experiences the object. So the other citta, which is not vijnana, as vipaka, is it also vijnana?
I'm interested if you can speak to that, Tanajan. So we're obviously the vipaka chittas, which are obviously vijnana. So we can, I don't believe in this particular sense. My feeling is that in this particular sense, that vijnana charya relates, as I'm understanding at this point, to vipaka chitta. All the other chittas, they are not, it seems to me, vijnana charya. Perhaps you can elaborate on that.
That's why we have to be careful considering about the ultimate truth. What is vijnana before we can talk about vijnana charya?
Well, we can say that vijnana is chitta, that the reality which experiences.
So even we don't use citta or any word at all, it is real, isn't it? That which experience the object right now or any time. Is that true?
True cup.
That's why we learn a little more about different contexts and different words and different meaning. So all the reality which arises even in different moments by different conditions, but it's the reality which experiences the object, never change at all. Is that true?
True.
So now we come to the word Jariya. What does it mean?
Well, literally it means to go, or the way of, the charya, like charya pitaka. It's the way of, or we could actually say behavior of, although people may misunderstand that, but literally just means the way of traveling, if you like, Cup.
The way it arises, right? From moment to moment. So now, what is there Right now, just right now, what is there? That can be known, that it's there. What is that?
Well, hardness can appear, Tanajan.
Or seeing, right?
Cup.
In life, in a day, or seeing, arising and experiencing the object, while the other vijnana is not known, right?
Normally, cup. True.
So, what is there in life? Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching.
Cup.
We don't talk about other vijnana, just that which is there in a day or life. So we learn to understand the vijnana chariya, that no matter it's talked about, explained about, but what is there? It's that which is there, the reality which experiences an object in the day, right?
Cup.
That's why it just in this text talk about just vijnanacharya, to be understood that at that moment reality arises and sees or experiences the object. Otherwise, how can there be the understanding of vijnana, other vijnana, all kind of vijnana, if there's no understanding, moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching in a day, as
Cup.
it is only that which is there arising to see, to hear, and so on. That's why vijnana, which can be studied, begin to know.
Tanajan, what's still not quite clear to me, for example, lobha mula citta, can we classify that as vijnana charya?
Just talk, we talk about vijnana first, and we begin to understand the way it's there from moment to moment, right? The manners or the way it is. But what is there in life that is there unknown? Is the lopa or seeing known now that it's there?
That it is there, cup.
Seeing or lopa?
Well, it often seems are both together, but I know that can't be so.
No,
But
no idea at all, no understanding anything. But what is there in life? There, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. Is that right?
cup, they're all there.
Vijnana in this text means the vipaka vijnana, because
Okay.
it's all there, but no understanding of it at all. To learn,
Okay.
understand what is vijnana at moment of seeing is that which experiences that which is seen, right? To
Cup.
begin to develop the understanding of vijnana at moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, while there is attachment or anger or whatever, it's not appear as seeing, hearing all day, right?
Cup.
And lopa is not vijnana. That's why we don't talk about 2, 3 together realities at once, but just understand the nature, the true nature, the ultimate nature of a reality, to get less and less ignorance and clinging to that as something from life to life. Is it can be known right now, what is seeing is right now, or just think about anger or other thing, while they're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting in a day. That's why learn to understand the basic. What is there? It's there for sure. No, who knows whether it is ignorance, attachment, or ego, or what is there. But what is there? Seeing, hearing, and it's taken for I all the time. But the truth is that it's just a reality. Consider a reality, only one reality, which experiences that which is seen. Begin to understand the difference between the seeing and that which is seen. That there is not just that which is seen or heard or tasted, but there is a reality, vijnana, in a day, appear as something seen but it's that which sees, beginning to understand the reality which is so very subtle, because if there's no thought about it, no attention to the meaning, no attending to the characteristic which sees at all, there cannot be jnana, understanding of the truth. There must be always jnana. That's right, that can be learned, that can be known, that can be considered right now, is what is there appearing. But it does mean that the other reality, which experiences object, is not jnana, because this is jnana chariya in a day. Can there be understanding, jnana and vijnana? Excuse me, vijnana and chariya.
Yes, there can be, Cup.
So now it begins to understand and have a little more attention to what is there now as its vijnana chariya, right?
Cup.
So clear now. What else?
Well, there's always Dhamma. Dhamma is pervasive. Dhamma is everywhere. But I think I appreciated what you were saying this morning, Tanajan, about when there has to be more than just reading or thinking about the words. There has to be the application of understanding to the reality that appears, rather than just thinking about the story, which I think has happened so very easily. People do not go beyond the words. They're captured by the story, which I think is very common. Cup.
That's right. Understanding is the moment of studying to understand the truth of what is there, which we use the word Dhamma, see? Where is the it's not Dhamma, it's different Dhamma. So at moment of studying Dhamma, is studying to understand what is there now. The Dhamma is there now, not the word. But the word is heard to understand what is the meaning, what it represents, or point toward as different words. Seeing, seeing, without the word seeing, no one understand what we are talking about. So Vijnana is not anyone, but it's the reality which behave in such a way, arising and falling away, no matter what, when it is the chief of experiencing an object, only one reality at a time, never change. So it's there from birth for sure, and it experiences the object for sure, but it doesn't matter whether the object is known or unknown. But why it's not known? Because it's not the world of this, the object of this world. It's not that which is seen, that we take for the world, the car and everything there, and so on. Learn to understand the truth of life, whether it's right now as it is, unknown, and beginning to hear about it, consider it, in order to begin to have confidence a little more at moment of understanding only that it cannot be other thing else. It cannot be someone or something at all. And this firm confidence, Satya Barami and Atidana Barami, with Virya Barami and Kanti Barami, patient to understand the truth is covered eons and eons, in life to life, on and on, up to now. So how can there be the moment of very, very keen understanding, experience what is there with jnana, understanding? And jnana is not vijnana, see? And ajnana is not jnana. So we learn to understand different realities one by one, to have clear understanding of each one, that it cannot be the other one at all. And this is the only way to let go ignorance and attachment to what is there, as usual. So each word in Tipitaka is so very subtle. It does mean just understand the meaning, that's all. Not at all. Because no understanding of the truth of what is there right then.
I think what you continually point out to us, Tanajan, and I very much appreciate it, is that it's not just the word that we may read or we may think about. There has to be the application, or the you described it a moment ago as the appreciating that understanding can be developed, the study, as you put it before, Tanajan, which I think is so crucial and so important, but so easy to overlook because people are captured or seduced by the word, which can point the way, but also can often just as easily confuse, or people may misunderstand what that word truly represents.
That's right. Before he died, Buddha said, what?
He said his last words were, I'm just trying to remember them, it was to do with being vigilant. You know, he encouraged the bhikkhus to be vigilant, which is the word. I'm trying to remember the Pali word, but it's not so important as you said the word. But he was reminding people not to be forgetful about Dhamma which appears. He used other words, which I'm not remembering at this point in time. Yeah.
Understanding is there little by little, but it's not enough at all, as long as it's not that which understand each reality as different ones. Otherwise, they're all together. So how can there be the understanding of each reality just arise by conditions and then gone, never be the same at all?
Well, interesting you asked that question, Tanajan, is that we know we can have some idea of correct pariyatti, and it seems so important that we continually study the reality that appears. And I have confidence in that process of development. At the same time, I realize too how important patience is, as you have mentioned, in terms of Satyabarami. There must be that commitment to truth as it truly is, not our version of it. I find, though, that it seems, when I think about it in the wrong way, that it's so difficult. It's so difficult.
Is that true?
Yes, it seems true to me that it's difficult. Very difficult. Excuse me.
Is it possible to be easy?
No, I can accept that, Tanajan, that it must be difficult. Otherwise, it would be easy if it wasn't difficult. But, and I appreciate more and more how we have to have that commitment to truth, Satyabarami, how there has to be patience. It does not mean to say that I am impatient sometimes, and therefore I do not have Satyabarami. There is not the commitment to truth. But I appreciate from what you remind us about that there has to be that gradual appreciation of the Dhamma as it is, not how we would like it to be.
See, just the understanding of what is their experiences is not anyone at all. And
No.
it's there. See, it's there, but it's not known that it's there. Because no words about it, not enlighten it as it is yet, but begin to have the most precious in samsara, to have moment of beginning to understand the truth of what is there, which is that which sees or hears, experience the object, not anything or anyone at all. Is that so precious to begin to understand life as it is?
I'm just remembering, Tanajan, the Buddha's last words were, Handadani bhikkhave, Vaya Dhamma Sankara Apamadena Sampadeta. So he was talking about the perishable natures of all Dhammas, and that with non-negligence. He used the word apamada, which literally means non-madness, because we're mostly seduced by what seems to be so attractive, and that is what we could describe as being maddened or being mad, because we misunderstand the nature of reality, and we are thus seduced by it, and we don't understand it. And the Buddha reminded us that there should be the commitment to Dhamma as it is, not how we think it is, by being he used the word sampade, to hold fast, if you like, to the Dhamma as it is, not how we think it is.
So it's anytime, not pamata, apamata, even hearing,
Yes.
hearing
Yes.
just one word of truth.
Yes, that's right, Tanajan. It's mostly pamada, not appamada. So we often, because there is pamada, that literally that commitment, if you like, to madness, pamada, there is not appamada, which is the commitment to truth, as you share with us so often and so much.
So even now it has to be appamada, not pamada, of what is heard.
True, Tanajan. True. It has to be that appamada, not the pamada.
It's there as the word of the Buddha about the very subtle reality, vinyana and vinyanacharya, see? And ayana and yana, all are different realities, not permanent at all.
Not permanent, as the Buddha said in his last words. It's Vaya Dhamma Sankara, that they perish immediately, they disappear continually, and we take them for something that's substantial, something that's lasting, something that represents a person or whatever. But we don't, because there is not enough appamada, we're continually seduced by the idea of something, and that is unfortunate and dangerous in many ways.
And the development of understanding is not at the moment, it's right now. The moment of careful considering is the moment of developing understanding of what is there, as it is so very subtle.
True, Cup. Yeah, and I appreciate all the reminders continually, because it's of our accumulated ignorance of the realities appearing. We're continually taking it for something, and your reminders about the true nature of things is so very helpful to us all, I'm sure. I can speak for everybody when I say that, Tanajan, and your patience in this area has been so helpful.
That's why even just 3 words, yana and yanachariya, vinyana, chariya, and ayana, and yana. See, even 3 words, we need careful considering appamada.
Well said, Tamajan. We do. And we can always, there is always so much cross-referencing and appreciation of Dhamma at many different levels that we are gradually able to understand its subtlety, but it's not easy. And I'm sympathetic towards people who find the Dhamma difficult, because I know I'm in that category also very often.
And when one says that Dhamma is difficult, is it true or not true? See,
well, it's true. Yes, I know that's just thinking, and that's usually pamada, more ignorance, and there is not the trust, there's not the confidence in the reality that appears at that moment. There is just more pamada. There's not the appamada that's needed, the non-negligence or the heedfulness, as sometimes appamada is translated as, but it's literally not being crazy, if you like, about the dhammas that appear, because they seem so seductive and so alluring. But in actual fact, that is a danger, that it lies embedded within them in many ways when there is not enough wisdom to appreciate the Dhamma as it is.
That's why even just the word appamada or pamada, it has to be considered carefully, and that is the development of understanding.
Yes, so true, Tanajan, so true. Because pamada is so prevalent, which is just another name for ignorance, it's not easy, as you have said, Tanajan, to appreciate what really appamada is. And if there's not that continual consideration and study and appreciation of Dhamma as it is at all levels, we will continually go wrong and be seduced by pamada, or the madness of the word, of the world. And even the word, people get just captured by the word and misunderstand it so easily. So it's easy to go wrong time and time and time again.
So now it's the understanding of what's meant by pariyatti.
Well, we know, I can appreciate it, Tanajan, more and more, because you have pointed us in the right direction to appreciate what pariyatti truly means. And if that's not studied or considered carefully, it's so easy to misunderstand Dhamma.
And if there is just understand the meaning, but not understand the truth of that which is now we have talked about. See?
Yeah, true, Tanajan. There has to be the study of what those words represent. If that is not appreciated, then it's so easy to go wrong.
And that is appamada again.
Yes, true, Tanajan. We come back to that again and again and again, to carefully study what those, carefully consider what those words truly mean. And if there's not that very careful consideration and ongoing consideration, we will be going down the road of pamada, which is not helpful, and will lead us more and more astray and down the wrong path.
And I appreciate so very much to anyone's understanding of the truth. สวัสดีค่ะ